There's a lot of Roman emperors.
There's a lot of Roman emperors. Yeah, 4.0 actually gets this wrong a lot of the time. There are a lot of folks who ruled for like 6 days, 12 days, a month, and it sometimes forgets those.
Can you do them all from memory, including the 6-day people?
No. Yep.
OpenAI just announced big news. Sam Altman just announced the 12 days of OpenAI, and they started off by announcing that the full model of O1 is now available. So we were working with O1 preview, and the full O1 model is now available for use. And the benefit seems pretty substantial. They say that O1 preview versus O1 is much faster when it comes to responding. They said an issue with the preview was that for like simple questions and simple tasks, like just saying hi to it, would take it like a few seconds, like 30 seconds just to respond, where all you need to do is say hi. The full O1 model now doesn't have to do that. It understands if this is a simple prompt or if it needs to think more into it. As well as it says it's about 60% more faster than the preview model, the new O1 model, which is pretty good. Not only that, they said that the O1 model can now do like other things, like you could take a picture of something and then it can interpret the picture based off the question. In the live stream, there was like this physicist, and he had a problem to see how big the space needed for a solar cell in order to charge like this space station.
To illustrate the multimodal input and reasoning, I created this toy problem with some hand-drawn diagrams and so on. So here it is. It's hard to see, so I already took a photo of this, and so let's look at this photo in a laptop. So once you upload the image into the ChatGPT, you can click on it and to see the zoomed-in version. So this is a system of a data center in space. You need this giant radiator cooling panel. And this problem is about finding the lower bound estimate of the cooling panel area required to operate this 1 gigawatt data center.
Probably going to be very big.
To this prompt, and yeah, this is essentially asking for that. So first of all, this 1 gigawatt, that was only drawn in the paper. So the model was able to pick that up nicely. And the model was able to recognize that this is actually a unspecified but important parameter. And it actually picked the right range of temperature, which is about the room temperature. And with that, it continues to the analysis, found out the area, which is 2.42 million square meters. Just to get a sense of how big this is about 2% of the land area of San Francisco. This is huge.
Not that bad.
Not that bad, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And basically he took a picture of the diagram he had wrote on a piece of paper, uploaded it to ChatGPT, and then asked it questions about like the parameters and what it would need to be. And it ended up being like 2% of San Francisco, which is pretty big. But it was able to do that just based off the picture, understanding the picture, and understanding the question that was prompted inside the ChatGPT prompt box. And that was absolutely crazy. Not only that, they said that it was so much faster that they gave ChatGPT a question about how many Roman emperors were there, and they were like, about time ChatGPT O1 model was done, the preview hadn't even started, and they were still waiting on it.
Demo of, for example, a sort of question that I might ask one of these models. So right here, on the left, I have O1. On the right, I have O1 preview, and I'm just asking it a really simple history question. List the Roman emperors of the 2nd century, tell me about their dates, what they did. Not hard, but you know, GPT-4o actually gets this wrong a reasonable fraction of the time. And so I've asked O1 this, I've asked O1 preview this. I tested this offline a few times, and I found that O1 on average responded about 60% faster than O1 preview. This could be a little bit variable because right now we're in the process of swapping all our GPUs from O1 preview to O1. So actually O1 thought for about 14 seconds, O1 preview still going.
It was funny though in that demo, because in that demo, in the O1 preview, the person who demoed it was saying like, well, O1 sometimes get this wrong because there's a lot of emperors that were only ruling for like a day or two, or a week or two, or a month. So they didn't have every emperor listed because there are some that only like ruled for a short period of time. And then Sam Altman quickly was like, well, could you do that from memory?
There's a lot of Roman emperors.
There's a lot of Roman emperors. Yeah, 4.0 actually gets this wrong a lot of the time. There are a lot of folks who ruled for like 6 days, 12 days, a month, and it sometimes forgets those.
Can you do them all from memory, including the 6-day people?
No. Yep.
And the dude was like, well, no, which is kind of funny, but I do understand, like, this is a tech demo and like you don't want to call out the issues with like your tech, especially this $1 million, $1 billion tech in a live showing. But I thought it was kind of funny. But not only that, they did something really, really crazy. They did like a gene editing problem to like see what gene you could make based off like these parameters with like proteins and stuff. Hey, I'm not a chemist, I'm not a geneticist either, so I kind of loosely followed what they were saying, but they were able to do it and find the protein and the gene that they needed based off that. It took the O1 model a few like minutes or like a few seconds to do it.
Great. So I want to give a short demo of ChatGPT O1 hard math, science, or programming problems. So here I have a pretty challenging chemistry problem that O1 preview gets usually incorrect. And so one thing we've learned with these models is that for these very challenging problems, the model can think for up to a few minutes. I think for this problem, the model usually thinks anywhere from 1 minute to up to 3 minutes. Well, we'll find O1 Pro mode the most useful for, say, the problem asks for a protein that fits a very specific set of criteria. So there are 6 criteria, and the challenge is each of them asks for pretty chemistry domain-specific knowledge that the model would have to recall. And the other thing to know about this problem is that none of these criteria actually give away what the correct answer is. So for any given criteria, there could be dozens of proteins that might fit that criteria. And so the model has to think through all the candidates and then check if they fit all the criteria. Finished in 53 seconds. You can click and see some of the thought process that the model went through to get the answer. And then it arrives at the correct answer, which is retinochisin, which is great.
But it was pretty advanced, and not only that, they released a like higher tier for the Pro model and for the O1 model. So now that the O1 model was fully released, they also have like a new tier list like for pros. It's called the Pro tier list. So now instead of it just being like the 3 tiers that I already have, they have a Pro tier list, which is $200 a month, which some people are saying is kind of pricey, and I kind of agree with that. But they were saying there's people who are like wanting more compute power than they could, you know, output at this point in time on the various tiers that they have already, which makes sense to me. And these are for, I guess, people who are really hammering the AI hard and trying to get a lot of like output out of the models. This is like with the voice mode. This is with like the code in particular. At least that's what Sam Altman had stated. So I think this is actually pretty good for those type of users, and to have like more compute power, unlimited access to a lot of features. I think it'd be good for those users. But $200 a month is kind of high for like an everyday user. But if you're making money from ChatGPT, this is probably nothing. They're also going to be doing these live streams every day for the next 12 days throughout the week. So I'm looking forward to see what else they may have, because they also talked about APIs for developers and having like developers being able to do different things with APIs, and as well as like rolling out features that will help other developers when programming. So seems like it's going to be pretty good. Stay tuned, because I'll be covering the next 12 days of OpenAI. With that being said, your boy Dex Not Dexter out.